Please take your hymnals in hand as we turn to hymn 33. Wake the song of joy and gladness, hither bring your noblest lays. Banish every thought of sadness, pouring forth your highest praise. Sing to him whose care has brought us once again with friends to meet, and whose taught us of the way to Jesus' feet. Wake the song of joy and gladness. Wake the song of jubilee. Jolly with the festal day. Shout aloud or glad hosannas and our great pilgrimage pay. We will chant our Savior's glory while our thoughts we raise above, telling thee all story, precious theme, redeeming love. The song of joy and gladness. The song of jubilee. Thanks to thee, O Holy Father, for the mercies of the year. May each heart as where we gather, serve with gratitude sincere. Thanks to thee, O loving Savior. Holy Spirit, sweetly draw us near to God. The song of joy and gladness. Wake the song. Hymn 195, Showers of Blessing. There shall be showers of blessing. This is the promise of love. Showers of blessing. Showers of blessing we need. Falling, Lord, showers we plead. Showers of blessing, precious we thank again. Over the hills and the valleys, sound of the showers of blessing, showers of blessing we need. Our steps falling, but for the showers we plead. Showers of blessing, showers of blessing we falling, but for the showers we plead. There shall be showers of blessing. Blessing. 33, I will sing of Jesus' love. I will sing of Jesus' love, sing of him who first loved me, for he left bright clouds above, and he died on Calvary. I will sing of Jesus' love endless grace. My heart shall give, he has died, that I might live. I will sing his love to thee. The depths of love divine earth or hell can never know how it seems. As dark as mine, I will sing of Jesus' love endless praise. My heart shall give, he has died that I might live. I will sing his love. For him I've done a good deed. Such love bestowed I owe. My heart is one. Help me now, my love to show. I will sing of Jesus' love endless praise. My heart has, he has died that I might live. I will sing his love to thee. Hymn 100, Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness, O God my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever will be. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I hymn 287, softly and tenderly. Softly and tenderly, Jesus is calling, calling for you and for me. Waiting and watching, watching for you and for me. Come home.
Do you all watch television? Okay, it was on the news recently about the increase of cancer for people who consumes alcohol. So, in every medication, there is some form of alcohol. That's my thought. That's my opinion. Alcohol. No? Okay. Here it is saying alcohol is a deceiver. The television news said that the alcohol consumption increases the risk of cancer. Okay. Solomon reached this sharp conclusion: wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. Proverbs 20, verse 1. Alcohol attacks the highest brain centers first. It dulls your power of discernment first. You are ready for deception. Alcohol says, I'll drown your troubles. But for every trouble it drowns, two more comes up. Alcohol says, I'll make you smart and gay and bright. Life says, liquor makes you a fool with a babbling mouth. Solomon discovered that. Proverbs 23, verse 29. Alcohol says, I'll make you strong, and one who drinks wonders where he got his black eyes and bruised body. Alcohol is a man in a man makes him think he is the best driver on the road. We have evidence of that in our country. Yes. But he is the highway's greatest menace. A glass or two of beer will slow the reaction time of the nervous system. Taken in any quantity, alcohol makes a man a less skilled driver while making him believe that he is a better driver. It also lessens his sense of responsibility. Hence the widespread admonition: if you drive, don't drink. If you drink, don't drive. One might wisely inquire, why drink at all? After a man drinks, it is too late to tell him not to drive. He thinks he can drive better than ever. Alcohol is a deceiver. Alcohol makes one feel warm when he is cold. It relaxes the nerves that control the blood vessels near the warm blood is kept in larger quantity at the surface and is exposed to the cold. The temperature of the body is lowered, though the drinker does not look as blue or feel as chilly as the non-drinker. Alcohol says, you can drink without being a drunkard. There are two things wrong with that statement. One is that some people are highly sensitive to alcohol, and once they take to drinking, the road leads straight to alcoholism. They become alcoholics, pitiful wrecks, and slaves. Robert S. Cornell, MD, Highland Hospital, Asheville, North Carolina, says, it is startling to think that in our land, 1 out of 3 whom we meet is incapable of continuing any form of alcohol usage without courting a very present danger of being damaged or wrecked by its potency. Signed by the Times, September 1948. The other point is that any so-called moderate drinker may move right on to alcoholism. The deceptive nature of alcohol keeps him from being aware of its danger until he has reached his alcohol Niagara. Millions have gone over the Niagara in their liquor barrel and few have been redeemed. As the Japanese proverb says, at the first cup, man drinks wine. At the second cup, wine drinks wine. At the third cup, wine drinks man. Right? There are millions of excessive drinkers in America and upward of a million alcoholics, while figures increasing. Most of them began drinking in an early age. They were deceived alcoholic advertising in the theater, on the radio, on the signboard, in the papers and magazines. I say what I am paid to say. But in the laboratory, in the wrecked automobile, in the city jail, in the roadhouse, in the veins of the junks, I tell the truth. Maryland news. Alcohol is expensive. In recent years, the liquor person consumption has doubled in the USA. In Canada, it has increased 400% in the 25 years, according to Dr. John Holder in a report to the Canadian Temperature Federation. In a recent year, the people of the United States spent $10 for liquor for each $1 for religion. They spend 5 times for booze as for education. City Cats tells of a man who passed by a saloon and saw the pervert called. You never come in anymore. Have you quit drinking? Yes, said the man, and I'm getting a big lump in my side. Well, said the proprietor, you had better start again, or it may get worse. Yes, replied the man. It's getting bigger all the time. And so he reached in his pocket and pulled out a fat purse. Americans would grow a lump of $9 billion if they could stop drinking. Crime costs $15 billion, and liquor has a lot to do with that. Insanity, venereal disease, Monday morning hangovers, accidents, irresponsibility, and inefficiency cost, cost untold billions. The liquor is mixed up in much of this. Dr. L. Smith is quoted in the Washington Examiner, June 26, 1947. The chemist defines it, alcohol, as poison. The biologist defines it as hazard. The pathologist calls it a narcotic, call it a narcotic. The socialist call it a waste. The economist call it a parasite. The psychologists call it a deceiver. The criminologists call it an accessory after the fact in crime. The key to the tavern, saloon, bar, or nightclub, whether public or private, opens the door to utter deception. Alcohol knocks and deceives the drinker. It makes him think he is wise when he is foolish, strong when he is weak. It is harmful, deceptive, expensive, and corruptive. It is a pal of tobacco and narcotics, a cause of crime, an aggression of disease, and a curse unto all men. He who uses it pays in money and health. He who supports it with his influence becomes responsible for its tragic results in the lives of others. Can we sing a hymn until okay? Sister Daly said we can do a little exercise. Are you waiting? This time, we're going to start coconut our bodies. The word coconut. Please stand, sing, and
If we don't do it, we can like play, look for the name. Doctor is here. A little. With his mother, welcome to Sister Connor, welcome Dr. Connor. And we give you a little breather, it's always on you. We will sing a song and then come afterwards. 632. My heart can sing when I pause to remember. Heart again. It's God that set me so along the trail. That's why we always is the word. Is not my final. Will keep my close and very, very good, very healthy, and that's a positive start. I'm very happy to be here this afternoon to share with you a few moments about a topic called health matter. Thank you very much. I was invited and I couldn't turn down the opportunity because this is one of my most favorite churches in the parish. I think it's one of the most beautiful churches in the parish. And I wanted to keep it up so that when I'm getting married, I could choose this church for my marriage ceremony. Very, very pretty church, and I must commend you on the work you are doing in your church because it's very, very attractive. There's nothing more like than seeing a very beautiful church and touching people in the heart and making your church a very special place. And so I'm thankful and very happy to be here this evening, and I'm going to talk about what I like to call a sore point. It's something that we hear about all the time and time again, day after day. It doesn't matter how much we hear about it. I think that is not something we take very serious, especially as Jamaicans. Who can say what we're talking about? Diabetes, as I can guess. Somebody said high blood pressure. We're talking a little bit about diabetes, yes, but we're talking about high blood pressure most of all. But did you know that there's a link between high blood pressure and diabetes? One leads to the other. If you have diabetes long enough and it's not under control, eventually you tend to develop hypertension, or in Jamaica we call pressure. Alright, so for the next few minutes I'm going to speak about hypertension, which in Jamaica we refer to hypertension as pressure, say blood pressure, high blood pressure, or just simply pressure. Once again, my name is Matthew O'Connor. For those who don't know me, I have an office not far from here in Orange Bay, that's at Orange Bay Health. This evening, I have with me the two most important persons in the entire world, my mother and my father. I love them very, very much, and very remind why I try to bring them with me because if it wasn't for them, I don't know where I would be today. And so for those of us who are fortunate enough to have our parents with us today, I implore you to do your best to honor them. And that is what the Bible commanded us to do. So a big round of applause for my mother and my father. All right. So I want to get an understanding from the church first of all. What do you understand about pressure or high blood pressure? And nothing you say this evening is wrong. My main aim is so that you can learn. So you can ask all the questions you want to ask, whatever you like to be clarified. I know sometimes people are afraid to speak to the doctor because they don't want to sound silly. You think you're going to ask a foolish question. Sometimes I'm talking to a patient and I know they don't understand, but they say yes, they understand. We're not doing that today. If you don't understand, you don't understand. And my job is free until the sunset. Talk for free, answer all the questions until the setting of the sun. At the setting of the sun, I will start to charge per question. So I know when I'm asked questions because I like when people are clear on what I'm talking about. So at any point in time, you have a question, feel free to stop me and we will attend your question. Alright? But before we go any further, I'm going to ask for a quick word of prayer that the Holy Spirit might direct the proceedings here. Who wants to pray for us? Very short prayer. Amen. Now, last week Tuesday, I saw a young man in the afternoon at my office, and his blood pressure was 247 over 180. Is this right? 247 over 180. He was 32 years old. I say he was because I don't know if he's still alive with that blood pressure. 247 over 182. That's enough pressure for three of us. That is enough blood pressure for probably two or three of us. What's your understanding of high blood pressure? And if you don't put your hands, I'm going to call on you. Okay? And I'll call on those who I know. First of all, what's your understanding of high blood pressure? If your blood pressure is high, it can kill you. That's very correct. And you can get it. No, in your own words. In your own words. In your own words. It's about 140 over 80. When the standard nowadays is below 140 over 90 to be called normal blood pressure. If your blood pressure is 140 over 90 or below, we say it's normal. But essentially, high blood pressure happens when the blood flowing through the veins in your body is going too fast. And you think of it like a pipe that brings water. When the water is moving too fast, what can happen? It bursts the pipe, and then the water leak out. And that's exactly what happens to us when our blood pressure is far too high for a long period of time. It bursts the blood vessels in the body, and it causes damage to our organs. And so if you burst the blood vessels in your eyes, they can be blind. If you burst the blood vessels in your head, you get what we call a stroke. What you call a stroke, that's on your point. You get a stroke. And that is one of the most common causes of death in Jamaica. Death from stroke from a hypertension. And so many persons are hypertensive, but they don't take it serious. It's sometimes not a big deal. How do I know this? Because I always ask a new patient, do you have any illnesses? No, only pressure. No. Are you taking any medication? No, just the pressure pill. So it's not a serious illness. We don't think it's as serious as cancer or diabetes or something else. Most persons who I've spoken to in my office don't consider hypertension a real sickness. But it is the most common cause of illness and death in Jamaica. Did you know that? Hypertension. Some persons don't know. Some persons don't know. How do we know? The fact of the matter is, most persons who die from complications of hypertension, they don't know. They don't know. They simply do not know because they haven't had a checkup in a long time. And you can know if your blood pressure is high by doing a pressure test. And it's done everywhere. Pharmacies, sometimes even at gas stations, you're not having pressure checks. Your doctor can do it for you. You can always come to my office if you need a pressure check. It's free. If you're not seeing the doctor, it's free. They'll always just pass by and stop and say, check the pressure, check the sugar, and we'll do it for you for free. I wonder if somebody wants to have a mic in the audience. That would be nice. So everybody can hear what others are saying. She's bringing a mic. So we understand now when anybody asks me, because what I'm sharing this evening, you must be able to share with others when you leave here. Right? High blood pressure happens when the blood flowing through our veins is doing so too fast. Too fast. Yes.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Sister Scarlett. Okay. I was diagnosed with high blood pressure about 3 years ago. Alright? Cause of it, when I went to the doctor, first of all, I'm not the kind of person who eat very early in the morning. And so, when I start to get some headaches, and stomach cramps, I went to the doctor. It was my gastroenteritis. Doctor said it was lifting my heart at that time. So it gave me the pressure that the heart started to beat very fast. So it triggered off high pressure to my head. Many times I thought I was having like migraine or something like that. So after that, my doctor put me onto clinic at the Lucy Health Center. And I started visiting and never ever missed my appointments. I always make sure I look at my card when it's the appointment. My last appointment was December 19. When I thought 140 was very high for my blood pressure. 140 over 70. And I thought it was high. So I asked the doctor, is it high? He said, no, it's not high. So that was my really concern because I thought my mother had died of high blood pressure because everything would frighten her. I remember one time, she used to raise boats. And the evening came up and I thought she was sleeping. And my father said to her, "You're not going to be with them." And she jumped up. And soon as she jumped up, it's like she almost got a stroke. Because it gave her a little deformity, sideway or not. And it happens over and over. She go track clinic, go track clinic, go track clinic. She gave medications. And so today I just want to say to all of us that help day to day, our responsibility is to make sure that we take our medications. I have mine. Sometimes I have more than the amount, and I wonder what am I doing so much pills. But at the meantime, when I went to the clinic, doctor would ask me, our nurse, did you take your medication this morning? And sometimes I say yes, sometimes I say no, because sometimes taking over and over, it's like it gives you some pressure on your stomach. Sometimes your stomach feels upset. But at times I told myself, I'm not gonna miss it. And once again, I don't wanna keep. I had three things. I had a trace of diabetes, was diagnosed, and I had a trace of cholesterol, and I have blood pressure. And I wonder, Lord, on my side, how small how can I manage three of these terrible things? But I still pray to God that I will take stand for my responsibility.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Earlier, somebody asked, how can you know when you have high blood pressure? And the only true way to know if you have high blood pressure is to check your pressure. It's very simple. It takes 1 minute. That's the only way to know if you have high blood pressure. Some persons say, well, you can feel when the pressure is high. That isn't true. It's just a coincidence. You can't really feel when the pressure is high. As a matter of fact, most persons who die from high blood pressure or get very sick from high blood pressure felt normal. Felt fine, good, and just dropped it. And so as a doctor from time to time in this area of the parish where I work, I hear people talk about Miss So-and-so who was struck and dead. Or Mr. So-and-so or brother so-and-so just struck and dead, and everybody is shocked except me. Because I know them. And I know the struggles I've had with them as a doctor. And so I have my patients who I know that whenever I listen to what they say, they're not going to drop them. And so I've gotten an unfortunate phone call to say such a patient just collapsed and died. But I can't be surprised because I know them. And I know that they did not take diagnosis of hypertension very seriously. And in other words, they were taking the medication because it wasn't serious. I personally, since I've been here in Hanover, several patients who have been warned about their blood pressure. They never took it seriously or decided to go and take herbal medicine, which is fine to an extent. However, if the doctors prescribe pressure medication, it's important that you take it. Most pressure medication are safe. I will not tell you that every medication is good and safe, I wouldn't be lying. But most of the new pressure medication that doctors tend to prescribe are very safe. The thing is, one night before you go not for you. So we have enough pills to choose from. We might try one with you this works so well, we try something else. But the answer is not to just stop taking the pills. So how do you know when your pressure is high? You check it. However, sometimes you can have symptoms of high blood pressure. The most common symptom or feeling of your pressure being high is a headache. It doesn't mean that every time you have a headache or your pressure high. No, it can be something else. But oftentimes when you have a high blood pressure, you can have a headache. Sometimes you have blurry vision. Sometimes you have numbness all over the body, but particularly in the head. Sometimes you have dizziness. But once again, most of the time what happens? Most of the time, how do you feel? I just said it, we just said it. Most of the time when your pressure is high, how do you feel? You feel okay. You're feeling okay. And the only way to know is when you check your pressure. And so many persons are diagnosed with high blood pressure the first time they go to the doctor for something else. They went to the doctor for a medical. They went to the doctor because they had the flu. They went to the doctor because of a cut on the foot. But you realize that you have high blood pressure. A few days ago, a lady, a door fell on her. The store of fell on her. She's okay, thank God. But when she came to the doctor, because of that incident, which I know was a blessing in disguise, she realized that her blood pressure was sky high, as was her sugar. And in an interview, I said, do you have any illnesses? No, nothing at all. Are you taking medication? No, nothing at all. But thank God for the door that fell on her, which was a blessing in disguise because it wasn't not for that door. She would not have known that she had high blood pressure and diabetes because we don't get checkups in Jamaica. We only go to the doctor when we're sick. We only go to the doctor when we are sick. You know, some people, that's very correct, very, very correct. Some people, especially men in Jamaica, only go to the doctor when they are sick or when their wife forces them to go to the doctor. Jamaican, we don't like going to the doctor. Of course, when you go to the driver's which is another way to diagnose of a person with high blood pressure. They went for the driver's license or to go medical and they found out that the pressure is high. The fact of the matter is, it's not a bad diagnosis. It's not a bad diagnosis. There are much worse things that can happen to you. And the good news is there is treatment because there are persons who have diseases that cannot be treated. No pill, no surgery, nothing can help them. If you have hypertension, the good news is there is treatment. Now, how do you get hypertension? How do you get hypertension? 95% of persons with hypertension will get hypertension because it runs in their family. 95%. So that is, you can't escape it. You can control it, but you can't escape it. I could not escape the color of my skin because of my parents. So many people fly high, fly low, will never have pressure. Not up to you. Just like your sex, if you're male or female, not up to you. Your height, not up to you. Having high blood pressure, sometimes, it's not up to you. We have conditions that are called hereditary. In other words, they run in families. Your grandmother had pressure, your mother had pressure. More than likely, you never have pressure. Don't get sad when you hear this. It's unfortunate, but it is the reality. And now that you know, you can be better prepared to deal with whatever happens in the future. So most persons who have pressure is not because of what they did or did not do. It's just a genetic or a hereditary problem that runs in the family. Okay? However, there's another section of persons, another percentage of persons. I heard the word lifestyle. It is because of lifestyle why they would have developed high blood pressure. And so there's this very fancy word called sedentary. Who wants to know what sedentary means? You can say a sedentary life. It's a fancy word that means, yeah? Or what? Somebody said, lazy. Lazy. Sedentary means lazy. What the Bible is only be bad. So it's a sedentary lifestyle, but I'll tell you you're just lazy. Laziness is a very important cause of high blood pressure. And so many persons don't want to take the pill. But if you tell them to exercise 4 times a week, that's even more difficult. They're not doing that. If you tell them to avoid salt and processed foods, they're also not doing that. So you don't want to take the pill, you don't want to exercise, you don't want to eat right, what am I supposed to do? What else can you do? You don't want to take the medication for pressure, you don't want to exercise, and you don't want to eat right. Something has to give. And so there are persons, I tell you, you can manage to have the pressure without pills. I have persons who are hypertensive and they are not on any medication because I don't find it necessary. Why? Because they walk 5 mornings every week, they have a diet low in salt, all these things. So your lifestyle is very important so you can make a decision. Especially if it runs in your family, you can now decide to have such a lifestyle that will counteract hypertension. And so when we tell you things like exercise, it's not because we really want it, it's because we know what's best for you. And when we say to exercise, it doesn't mean go to the gym, but you can wake up, or even not necessarily in the morning, if you can find a half an hour, night or day, to walk. That is going a far, far way. If you can commit in your heart to drink 8 bottles of water every single day, that goes a far way. If you can stop eating chips and fries, fried chicken, rice and peas that's full of salt sometimes, all these things are full of salt. If you can commit to not, I will say, stop eating them, limit eating these things, then life will be a lot better, and your risk of hypertension will be a lot less. Alright, so it's a lifestyle disease, but for most persons it's genetic. When should you start taking your pressure? At what age do you think you should start taking your pressure? Well, unfortunately, this is that we are realizing that even teenagers have high blood pressure. Why? Because of the gadgets nowadays. Nobody's outside running up and down anymore playing dolly house or police and PE or tag or whatever games you normally play as a child. Everybody's now on the device. So nobody's walking, running, jumping, skipping anymore. And so the disease that was originally for old people, we find young people having the problem now. So when I saw the young man earlier this week with his 240 or 182, he was only 32 years old. 32 years old, and his pressure was that high. But he was also fat, obese. Obesity is another cause of high blood pressure. Your blood pressure is more likely to be high if you are obese, which is a problem that many persons have, but it's something that we can do something about. Okay? But obesity makes your blood pressure higher than normal. And that is why we encourage exercise. Any questions or comments or any points?
Yes, sir. Let's speak about salt and support. I noticed that when we was young, growing up, we usually eat like herbs. So the natural stuff, like sauce up with the bills, you see the same way. This very, that custard apple, you want to see the similarity. Sometimes you do natural. The one can be bitter and sweet. These are the things that we always eat. And whenever people get sick, but what I notice now, these children, everything that they get, even Irish salt, they do them salt, even right salt, and mango salt. So, but everything they eat is salt, every food salt. And there are some of the foods that they start from it. And so we realize that when we eat the salt is is will give us with good stuff. I mean, so we find that most of the young people are getting sick. I remember that when I come to most of them have high blood pressure because of the eating habit that we have. And these are the things that the nerves are getting and we don't know what. There were times when we eat all these things, we burn them out because we run balance. Run up and down, we run chat, go all that kind of stuff. Burn them out. But we do this now, as I mentioned before, that we use together. These children use together because they're kind. So they're eating the salt with the green down, or the orange, or the mango, they sit down together. So there's no time, but sometimes even the same dish or another thing, man has got to see a way. Because then I put them in the kitchen and put it down. So we find these are things that give the ability to probably that these things get us sick and we don't know.
That is correct. And you can see there's a lot of money from going to the doctor from taking this by exercising. By exercising, if you can commit to 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week, or 4 days a week, it will go a far, far way. Do you know one of my most favorite things to do? My most favorite thing to do. Everybody tell me, one of my most favorite
Ride
things to do.
bicycle.
That's my second favorite. My most favorite thing to do is to eat. I love food. I love to eat. But if I should eat every day and not exercise, that's going to be a problem. So because I love to eat so much, I also started to exercise, and I now love exercising. So as soon as I do this evening, after the sunset, I'm going to use my skipping rope for half an hour and skip for half an hour because I had a big lunch and I'm going to eat again tonight, and I love to eat. If you love to eat, you love to eat. But you have to do something to counteract the eating. If you have to do something to counteract the eating. So I love to eat. So because of that, I also know love to exercise. I exercise a lot because I eat a lot. Right? So I'm not telling you to not eat. You can eat if you want in moderation, but try to develop the kind of lifestyle that will counteract the eating. You can't be eating and sitting down all the time. You're going to get sick.
Yes, Dr. Cleveland. No, blood pressure. It has two names, systolic and diastolic. So, between the systolic and the diastolic, which one you have to watch more than the other?
No, there should be a balance.
There should be
The systolic, as you said, when they say systolic blood pressure, that's the top number, 120 to 140, 160. And the diastolic blood pressure is the bottom number, 80, 90. Alright?
Okay.
So the top number, the teacher, a little bit of science, not important, no. So the top number measures the blood coming out of your heart. And the bottom number is the blood entering the heart. Okay?
Yeah. And it's not food alone that send up the blood pressure. Some of us stress, hunger, and all those things that we contain. It will help our blood pressure to go up.
Right.
And another thing again, the eating, we have to be in moderation.
That's right. Okay.
Even with the salt, we have to have moderation with the salt because I think in the salt there is a substance in there that's called iodine. And I think the iodine is medicine for certain sickness in the body. But you have to have moderation. Because if you go to the hospital and you have your sugar is low, you're going to give them something to bring it up. And if they have blood pressure, you go to the hospital, they're going to give something to bring it down. So everything that we are doing, we have to do it in moderation. Because in this salt, I think it works into medication. You know that, which is different. I don't know. So everything that we do, we have to do it in moderation.
Thank you very much. And following from what the sister said, should we eliminate all salt from our diet? No, because salt is important. Just to quote iodine, which is important for the function of a gland we call your thyroid gland. And they get that nutrient you eat salt. So salt is important. It's about the excess thereof that's causing a problem. Salt is important. Salt is very good. And food tastes bad without salt. The food tastes so bad insipid without salt. But it's about moderation and it's about lifestyle. So a few weeks ago, I had a little boy. He was 15 years old. His grandfather, he was his grandfather, and he brought him because he's feeling weak, constantly feeling weak and tired every single day. But when I checked his blood pressure, it was low, very low for a 15-year-old child, boy. Very, very low. And they brought him because he was always weak. So by talking to the grandfather, he says to me, he eats only what I eat. The grandfather said to me, and the child will only eat, he only allows him to eat what he eats. I said, tell him what you eat. He said, there's no salt whatsoever. No salt whatsoever. He said, he has never thought about salt. And the little boy had to eat all the man eats. And that's not good. So the child was weak because of a lack of salt in his diet. No salt whatsoever. Because the grandfather is watching his blood pressure. But that's extreme. Maybe not for you as an older person, but a young person that's very active, up and about, moving, playing, must have salt in their diet. Must. And so that was a very easy consultation. No prescription, no matter how. One has some salt in your diet. But it's about the excess. And so there are some people who I know in this very room who like to sprinkle salt on the food that they eat. I won't call their name. You know, sitting in a nice neat dress. Love to add salt in food. Despite my warnings. And that's how it's better to cook with the salt than to sprinkle the raw salt onto what you're eating. It's always advised to cook with it. But when you're done cooking, you're done cooking. It's not advised to add the raw, unprocessed salt to the food. Sometimes I have to make the food too fresh. But let's not make it a practice. Salt can be very, very good, but it can be very, very bad. Other things that cause high blood pressure. There are other illnesses that cause high blood pressure. For example, persons with kidney disease can have high blood pressure. But it goes both ways because it's actually the high blood pressure that damages the kidneys most of the times. And so most persons, you had pressure for a long time, you're feeling fine, everything is okay, you're not sick, you're feeling fine, and then in a few years the doctor tell you have renal failure. Where did that come from? You had high blood pressure, you have high blood pressure for a long time, you never listened to the doctors, was taking your pressure pills, eating the salt, not exercising, and now you end up with a terrible disease called kidney disease. Right? The kidneys are very important, but you can't function without them. They filter your blood, and that's what you do to the bathroom and urinate. But when you have a high blood pressure over a long period of time, one of the most favorite organs that it loves to affect is your kidneys. And that's really bad. If you can avoid kidney disease, it's better to avoid it. The end product of kidney disease is going on something called dialysis, which is like $20,000 per session. And you have to do that at least 2 times per week. You can avoid that by taking your pressure under control. So recapping, we're finding out that more young people are having an issue with high blood pressure. As a matter of fact, in my office, I think it's more of a young person problem than it is an older person problem. Most of the very bad hypertensive patients that I have are under 45 years old. Young people, young people with a bad problem with their pressure. And I know it's because of lifestyle. We're not as active as we were as like you pointed out. When children will run up and down all day, especially in the summer, you're going to see them at the end of the day because they're running up and down the river all over the place. Now, everybody is on the tablet, everybody's on their device, not moving, not walking, nothing at all. Diabetes is also now a young people disease. Diabetes is also now a young person's disease. I don't see many old people suffering as bad from diabetes as they are as younger people are doing. So there's a shift now. And younger people unfortunately are getting sicker than older people, and it's all about lifestyle. How do you treat hypertension? Before I go on, my sister pointed out something very, very important. She spoke about stress. Stress is a very important cause of high blood pressure. Very, very important cause of high blood pressure. As a matter of fact, most persons who end up with pressure is because of stress. A stressful marriage, stressful relationship, you make your children and stress you out. For whatever reason, you pick up them problem on your head. And it stress you out. Nothing to do with you, but you pick up the children problem on your head. And it starts to stress you out. Stressful relationships, stress among church members. Stress among church members. You're not happy with the church anymore. It's a cause of stress. Your job stressing you out every day you wake up. You're vexed because you don't want to go. You're angry because you don't want to go. So from as daylight in a bad mood, you're stressed out because you don't enjoy the environment at your workplace. And it's not worth it, I tell you that. I tell you, it's not worth it. If you're in a job that you don't enjoy, it's time to do something else to do. Because your health and their life is more important than their job. The day you die, I tell myself, if any of you, God forbid, should die, the office will go home. Yeah. And that's how your employers look at you. I'm an employee. If anybody, if you should die in your job, the office not locked down. The business is not locked down in one same way. The office is going one same way. Understand me?
I need to replace them.
So if you're not enjoying your workplace, if you're in a stressed environment, we sometimes you may not enjoy the job because it's difficult, you're rough it out, but it's a stressful job. You need to find something else to do. You may get a pay cut, less money, but think about your life. If you're in a stressful marriage, I would never say divorce and separate, no, but if you're in a stressful marriage, you ought to do something about it. If you're stressing about your children and grandchildren, you ought to do something about it. I asked myself a question the other day. Do you think if we die stressed, we're going to heaven? If you get stressed out, do you think we're going to heaven?
Oh, you deserve
Do you think if you die like stressed out? Because we all have stresses, but it's how you approach it. You might have money problems, also the problems. But you can have the problem and not make it affect you. You know that? Yeah. So I asked the question. There are some persons who I know in the church who just start and stressed and depressed. And I said to myself, should you die in this state, where will your soul be? And that's a very serious question. Very, very serious question. So the evolution of stress is more complicated than you can imagine. I don't believe if you're dead stressed out, you know, it's going to be too good for you. We are going to have problems. If they don't have stress, they don't have problems like that's not perfect, we're not there yet. But it is our approach to the problems. It's our approach to the stressful moments that will make a difference because stress you will have once you're alive. Paying your bills, sending children to school, finding food, waiting for people to go to work, sickness. You will find problems sometimes and that will stress you out. But it's your approach to the stress. And I don't think it's wise for any of us to die in a life of stress. Okay?
Sometimes I hear about people get angry, they stress about something, and they get angry and up and they die, they didn't die happy. So I'm wondering how we did this behind to them. And if I angry with somebody, the stress of them and get up and they don't let that go.
So that's a very big concern that I have, and I don't know. But I would advise us as Seventh Adventists, as human beings, to try our best to avoid stress. You will have problems if I'm today. You will have problems when one solve one come. You will have problems, but your approach to the problem can be the cause of your death. Right? So stress causes hypertension because it increases something in your body called cortisol. When you're stressed out, your body makes a hormone called cortisol. And cortisol increases your blood pressure. So I know people who like this cuss until they're dead, cuss on top of my head, or fight on top of my head because they have a blood vessel in the head because of high blood pressure. If that's when you should die, I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen. Which resurrection you will be a part of, the first or the second one. I don't know. But as Christians, our mental health is oftentimes ignored. And it is very, very important, and it can be a form of stress, and it can cause your blood pressure to go up, stay up, and if you don't come down, you know there can be complications. Now, the worst thing from hypertension is not death, in my opinion. The worst possible thing that can happen to you from hypertension or pressure, in my opinion, is not death. When you get what we call a massive stroke, and then now you're lying in a bed, can't walk, can't talk, can't move, can't feed yourself, can't do anything, and that's the spend the rest of your life. I don't think that's a very good way to spend the rest of your life. There could have been more subjects. But now when you had a stroke, people talking to you, but you can't answer them. People have to wipe your bottle. People have to move you, turn you, feed you. You can't do anything, and you're always for yourself because nobody is lying down with a very big person who it. Everybody that will is the same way. When I come down, nobody is lying down beside a very big person. All day and keep them company. No, because you have things to do. But if you end up in that stage, which many people do because of high blood pressure, and it can be avoided. I have so many stories. I'm not a few weeks ago, I had another patient of mine, his mother and sister brought him in, and in his 40s. They said he just fell down, but he got back up and started to vomit. When I checked his file at my office, I saw him one time 2 years ago when I warned him about his blood pressure. And as a doctor, I write down what I tell you. So when you come back, I can say, I told you so. I pull up the file, I say, yes, in 2022 you came here March 7th, and I told you, if you don't take your pressure pill, something's going to happen. And so when I saw him that day, I told the mother that I think he's having a bleed in his brain. It's not just a simple fall. Rushed with him to the hospital. He went from my office to Lucy to Corner Regional to Falmouth to Delapena. All in 2 days. I could have been avoided because I warned the gentleman about his blood pressure. I begged him that day 2 years ago and I wrote it on the file. No. No prescription that lasts 2 years, right, nurse? None. So I know if you didn't come back from 2 years ago, you're not in no pain. You weren't taking anything, you weren't doing anything about it, and unfortunately, we laugh, but it's sad, unfortunately, he died. He had a massive bleeding, the doctor told me originally, he had a massive bleeding in his brain, and that's why he fell, started to vomit, never recuperated. Never recuperated. And that could have been avoided. So many times we are responsible for our own early departure from this earth. God made doctors, you know that? I know personally that God made me a doctor. I am naturally very bright. The only way I could have been a doctor is because God made me so. I was not a very bright person with 100 CXCs and the works. No, I am a doctor because God made me a doctor. God made doctors. And there are doctors who will give you good advice, sound advice. Not every doctor only wants your money. Many do, but not every doctor is like this. And when I give you an advice, it is from my heart. And I mean it. So when I tell about the pressure and the prison, so I mean it from my heart.
Doctor, if I go by my sister's house and I forget my medication, can I take my sister's?
No. That's a very good question. Thank you so much. Very, very good question. God bless you. No, she asked if she forgot her pressure pills at her house and she goes to her sister's house, can she take her sister's pressure pill? No. No, you're not supposed to take anybody's pressure pill, even if you know that it's the same thing. Because pills have different dosages, so they might have the same name, but it's 5 milligrams, 10 milligrams, 20 milligrams, mixed with something else. It's never recommended to take somebody else's pressure pills. If it's a pain pill, maybe that's different, you can take some painkiller. But pressure, diabetes is never encouraged to share your medication. Unless you know exactly what the system, when the same pill, you're sure that fact. And then you can let burn out run out. That's different. But generally speaking, it's not advised that if you know for a fact that you're on the same pill, if you know for a fact that you're on the same Panadol 500 milligrams, same pill, same dose, everything, then you can take a chance. But don't make it a practice. Don't make it a practice. Yes. Yeah, man, you can. But don't make it a practice. Get your own pressure pills. Don't make it a practice. I'll be back and then I'll continue. Yeah? Alright. I know serious because some people pressure bad than others, worse than others. Some people have bad pressure that they have 5 pills. Others they just go back there on 1 pill. Some people only on half a pill.
Yes, question. Is the high blood pressure, can you get the aneurysm caused from high blood pressure?
She's asking about something called an aneurysm. An aneurysm is when there is a pouch develops in one of the blood vessels in your head or your heart or somewhere. If your pressure is high, it can burst, and that's almost certain death. Generally, we don't give the diagnosis early enough to do a surgery because as a treatment, you have to do a surgery. But it happens, it's so quick, most times, unfortunately, we don't get to save the patient. Because remember that what our blood pressure causes damage by damaging the blood cells. I'm sorry, the blood vessels. Damaging the blood vessels that leads to various organs.
Yes, and another thing with medication, each one, the milligrams are different, some 20, some 40, and taking the medication, if you don't remember that you don't take it, don't take it, skip it, go to the other day.
And everybody is different, and so your doctor will have, 1 second. Your doctor will evaluate your risk and give you a prescription according to your. Because I don't give men the same prescription like I do women. Because some prescription will cause man problems. So I don't give the same prescription to a man as to a woman. In Jamaica, that's a big issue. And many Jamaican men don't take the prescription because they say it causes loss of nature. Right? But it is not true. It's the pressure causing the nature to go away. The pressure damaging the blood vessels in that certain organ, and they don't work anymore. It's not the pressure pill. Huh? Some of them do cause. That's why I said I don't give men and women the same pressure pill. Just like young people versus old people. If you're diabetic, I think that your pressure pill than if you're not diabetic. So there are various things to consider. Which is why we don't recommend that you take somebody else's pill because you don't know why doctor gives you that particular thing. And these are very common practice, you know. Very common practice. Some people should be good as well. It's not a good idea.
Alrighty, so I heard you talking about high blood pressure. What is your views on low blood pressure?
Alright. So low blood pressure is not the same as is high blood pressure. So high blood pressure is called hypertension. There's no medical terminology for low blood pressure because most women especially will have a lower than usual blood pressure. And this is normal for them. So my blood pressure is coming to 147, but for my church sister it will probably be 96, 90 or 60, which is low, but for her it's fine. The only way I have low blood pressure is a problem if it's something that has happened recently. If you're in a car accident and you're bleeding, the pressure is low, that's not good. If you're sick and vomiting, you become dehydrated and your pressure becomes low, that's a problem. But under normal circumstances, the pressure can be lower than usual and it doesn't cause any problem. No problem whatsoever unless there's something else going on in your life. Which is why there's no pill for low blood pressure. We don't give anybody pills for low blood pressure. If you have a low blood pressure issue, something else is going on that's causing
So can your health contribute to, for example, you go to can that contribute to your having
it. Most definitely, you don't eat meat and your active installed. If you exercise a lot versus you exercise a lot, their blood pressure is lower than usual and their heart rate is also lower than usual. So for example, you see most heart rate is about 40 beats per minute, but the funny is our heart rate is about 80, 85, and that's normal. You say no, this heart beats twice as slow because I say. So his heart rate is about 40 beats per minute, and that's slow, but he is very active. He exercises a lot. Most athletes have a lower than usual blood pressure and a lower than usual heart rate. It's called sinus bradycardia. We have slower than usual, but it's a good thing. Okay? Right? It's because the heart is strong. Your heart is a muscle. And just like the muscle in your legs, your back, and your heart muscle can become more developed and can become stronger. And when you jog, skip, run, dance, walk, your heart is exercising. The heart is exercising. And with each time it exercises, it gets stronger. And when it happens over time, your heart does not need to do as much work. That's how I kind of best say. When the heart is stronger and more muscular, the heart does not have to do as much work. So you say go hard pump one for every time of heart. heart is in a better condition. His heart. His heart is in a much better condition.
So that's the reason person will say, let's say to the doctor, the doctor say that your heart is younger than your actually.
That's right. That's what the doctor will tell you sometimes that your heart seems younger than your actual age. And so I'm working on getting my heart rate below 40. I'm at about 68 now. I'm sorry, below 60 in the heart. I'm not an athlete, so I won't get there. But I want my heart rate to be below 60 because I know the benefits of a lower heart rate. And also it speaks to the fact that I'm healthier because my heart is doing less work, but we're getting the state effects.
I wanted to go back to the point where you mentioned with the patient who you saw 2 years before, so you would be on medication. Let me tell you one of the problems that you doctors have. The patients who come to every appointment, there are patients that come and they get the 6 months or the 3 months or the 4 months, and they buy 3 pills. This month, 6 weeks later, they come to the pharmacy again and buy 3 pills. Then when they go to the doctor, they come with a prescription now. They either add something or something going on because it's like 2 weeks before they know they're supposed to go. They come and say, give them a medication and go to the doctor next week. Yes, so what I have had to be doing with the patients is that I've been giving out a lot of diet sheets. Because they're not eating properly. I've been counseling and that, and sometimes people get upset with me. Imagine last week somebody gave me a prescription from 2022. 2022, I'm telling me, yes, I can help, and I said, no, you need to go back to the doctor, you need a checkup. So sometimes I treat the food, they come into the appointment, but they're not taking medication.
Yeah. Another thing that I know is the life of me is when I get to message with older people and there's younger people and they can go on whole personality. And there's no way the farmers is going to be that street. They cannot take it. So they work with wood and then not taking it with it and not see so much. You put out that purpose bag. Put up in the can open the pharmacy. Because they're not taking them, but they got that then they most of them expire. No, the serious most of them expire. Most of them expire. One thing about it, we should not be, you should have any excess pills at home. Or not because you must be taking the pills that the doctors are prescribing. Right? And you have to take them. You don't get any prescription, don't waste your money. Yes.
I have high blood pressure, and every Sunday or every week I have my saltfish, active saltfish, or the saltfish on my calendar. And am I doing something wrong?
No, they're not doing anything wrong. Like I said, there's a moderation. Even if you're diabetic, you can have a slice of cake. Even if you're diabetic, you can have some ice cream. It's about moderation. I have no problem with you treating yourself in the one day and eat some cakes, which is salt, very salty. But it's not, it's about moderation and fast, it's about temperance. The Bible speaks about temperance. I live this.
So the doctor will tell you that you should not eat callaloo because callaloo set up your pressure.
No, I will tell you that you're not asking for cuddle now and then. You're not eating cuddle every day. You're not eating cuddle every day, 3 times a day. It's now and then. You can have something now and then. It's quite fine. Life would be very boring if we had to live this strict all the time. Wouldn't it have anything nice? None at all. You can have something nice now and then because salt makes it taste nicer, you know. That's why you look up chips and the salt, the chicken and the fries. But salt that tastes nice. Salt makes things nicer. One second.
What I find out is that I'm not going to the doctor. During the mornings, I take my pressure. I have a pressure machine. I take my pressure, and my pressure would be normal. But when I go to the doctor, I have a high blood pressure.
Right. I'm very happy for that point. I'm very, very happy for that point because a lot of people are afraid of the doctor. A lot of people get pressure on equal and then more. Go to the doctor, which is like for me and for all doctors, we never take a high blood pressure as being high the first time. We double check, we ask you a few questions, and the comfort, you tell them at home, you check it at home, because there are some people who suffer from a condition called white coat hypertension. White coat is in the white coat that the doctors wear. The moment you enter a medical facility, I don't know if doctor could be a pharmacy, a lab, an X-ray unit, the moment you enter a medical prescription outside, but that's not bad. That is not a bad form of hypertension, because the moment you leave, it goes back down. So it's not that bad, but many people suffer from that condition.
All right.
That's why.
My last question is, if I have pressure, and when I test my pressure, it's okay. Should I take my medication?
Yes. Because your pressure is okay because you're taking the medication. Your pressure is okay because you've been taking the medication. And you should never stop taking the medication unless you have attended to. You take the medication unless if you are concerned, you can go to the doctor, say, doctor, you know something is pressure on the doctor, which does happen. If you start exercising, you won't need as much pills. You can start eating better, you won't need as much pills. If you start acquiring stress in your life, you won't need as many pills. So have a discussion with the doctor to find out, can I take less pills? Can I stop taking the pills? I have taken pills for my pressure completely because they've made a commitment to doing the right thing and the pill is no longer necessary. Okay, so you can stop from the pill, but don't stop yourself. Go and talk with the professional. The error of when the persons that are by doctors, and everyone has their responsibility, everyone has their specialty. Don't act like the doctor. Go and talk to the doctor about the situation. Okay? Right, just like the color. Just like the color. Red meat. Just like some other things. It can cause a revolution. But then nobody doesn't keep the once in a while, like sorry, the things are really seasonal. Once in a while, and that's okay. So if you eat after at 12 in the morning time, that's okay. Or 12 in the morning time, that's okay. But when you start eating every single day now, every day, you have to have another or meat or whatever it is. That's when it becomes a problem. Alright? Other question? Somebody else?
Yes, I was diagnosed last week by my coworker at the time of diabetes. I said I am not. I have a normal reading because every time I eat like maybe one or two banana chips, my head hurts. So I want to know.
Right, you can eat bananas every single day because bananas is quite salty. Bananas is quite salty. And if you eat every single day, yes, it can your blood pressure and it can be bad.
I have a normal reading, but it's just that my head hurts.
It's not the pressure then. That's what I said earlier. I'm not every time your pressure. I'm not every time that your head hurts, which is a mentality in Jamaica. We think once your head stops hurting, don't check your pressure. And almost your pressure, you know what's really causing your problem? The dehydration from the salt. The dehydration from the salt causes a headache. That's what's causing your eyes and your headache.
Somebody asked me to ask a question. I told them I have a
Yes.
But they went to the doctor. The doctor said that the pressure is high, and the doctor put you on medication. But you're not taking the medication, and each time you test your pressure is okay. What should the person do?
Well, probably the doctor was hasty in starting the medication. Maybe the doctor was hasty. Because anything can make your pressure go high. Somebody should die, God forbid in your life, if everything is so stressed out, so sick about it. Your pressure can go up. If you lost your job, you get some bad news, then things can make your pressure go up. But it doesn't mean that you are hypertensive. So which is why when you come to my office and I see that initial blood pressure reading that's a little bit high, I am not quick to give you a pressure reading. I am keen on checking first. I'll ask you to call in the morning or sit outside a little while and check it again. Check it when you go home. Write it down and come back and show it. That's what I like to do. Until you go home, check it every day like I said at home. Write it down and come and show it to me. Because sometimes doctors, I will admit, are too quick to write a prescription. right? And that is why I tell you, because I know it's a lifetime commitment, I try other things first, like encouraging diet, encouraging exercise, but you don't want to do these things. You don't want to do these things. Speaking about which, I sister, have you done what we discussed the last time you came? Have you done what we discussed the last time you came? Have you been doing what we discussed? Yes, you say one. I remember our last visit, and something you said they're going to be doing. Yes, Dr. Family. So I'm going to the church of secrets. Alright, so I don't like prescribing pills. I would like to see what is necessary. But sometimes, thank God that there is medication. Thank God that there are pills for conditions like hypertension. Questions, comments, anything?
So one thing you mentioned that let's say diabetes runs in your family, as a parent, where what I'm going to
Alright, so once again, we will use the word pre-diabetes anymore. You have diabetes or you are not. But it is not right. Nowadays, we should not talk about pre-diabetes. But again, right, so you are diabetic or you are not diabetic. But if you realize that diabetes runs in your family, like we saw earlier, you start becoming very cautious. So you start watching the things that you eat and you start ensuring that you develop a very active lifestyle. But I will give you pills in advance. Right. It is genetic. It is genetic. Exercise, eat well, and pray. Exercise, eat well, and pray. Do your best, and God will surely do the best. Do your best. Do what you can do. But when you go to God, make sure you've done all that you can do so He can now do everything else. Okay? When you go to God in prayer, with your pressure, make sure say all the exercise is good. Alright, before you go to him, make sure you are doing what you can do. What he has given you the strength to do. And then you can talk about a lot of the rest of the situation. But we can't ask, oh God, help my blood pressure. And please, everybody that they're doing, not doing anything, they eat the sauce and they're going to pray, dear Jesus. That's right. Please take this pressure away. You are fooling yourself. You are fooling yourself. Because there are things that we can do to help ourselves even before we go on our knees. God must step out of the process, but God is expecting us to do what we can with what He has given us. Alright?
Can diabetes get better or can it only be controlled? Because I heard some people say that you decided to that when they go to the doctor. It's normal.
Right. And once again, you can go to the doctor and your sugar is higher than usual, and the doctor was too quick to write a sugar pill. Right? So you can go to the doctor and your sugar is high, and then the doctor say, let's repeat it tomorrow. It will give you a sugar prescription immediately, and that's wrong. So most persons have a high blood pressure, because high sugar, it's nothing. It's because something going on now. It doesn't mean that it's hypertension, but something was going on in your life at this point in time, right? And then you can that next month it's gone. So it's not that you're really diabetic, but your sugar wasn't even high. It was not that you were really hypertensive, but your sugar wasn't really high because of stress, because of something. But then next month, it's normal. So you were diabetic to begin with. But diabetes, I don't know if you can walk it. I give you to the reverse diabetes. I know that secret because I've never seen anybody diabetes that can walk it. I've never seen that before. Because diabetes is as a result of damage to an organ in our body called our pancreas. And when that gets damaged, that's it. That is it. It generally don't get better. But diabetes can be very, very well controlled. Very well. It can be years with diabetes. But our
problem is we love to eat. We love to eat, and it's the eating that is causing the problem. I told you about this ago that chicken, one doesn't eat steak and mango. One time. Is that good or bad? Are mangoes good or bad? Mangoes are good in moderation. But if someone eats 12 mango one time, that's a lot of sugar. That's a lot of sugar. And then some tell her, if you're diabetic, you can't have fruits like nutrition. Not because they're made by God and they're natural and they're healthy. Unfortunately, if you're diabetic, you can't have mango, banana, grape, all these things. They are not a healthier choice because they are very, very sweet. Even though they are natural and generally speaking very healthy, but if you are diabetic, you cannot have the regular Jamaican fruits because they are too sweet. So if you diabetically eat a mango, you know you're in trouble. Because the amount of sugar in one mango, the amount of sugar in one mango is incredible. One mango. So if you eat 12, that's a lot. Eat three very small bananas and she went to the doctor and she was high. The three bananas can make sugar so high. Yes, it's one banana, the amount of sugar that's in one banana. Huh? Yeah, you want to buy one banana, do one banana. Why do you buy one banana? One hand or one finger. Because it's hard to eat one banana, you know. For me, it's so hard to eat one single banana. It should be like it's so hard, but we have to be disciplined, especially if we are diabetic. Yes. So you must stop diet. You can't eat one, just stop diet. Stop, that's not what we call that. No, that's not bad, but that's hard to do. You're not going to eat one banana and then eat on the rest of the day. You're still going to eat rice and beans, you're still going to eat a sandwich, you're still going to eat something else. Nobody eats one day and take a banana for the whole day. No, as sweet as it is. Just like mangoes, many people like fruit sister, eat a whole mango one time, especially they're small, they can eat that. Does mango easily. Very, very easily. But it is not a good practice, especially if you're diabetic. Remember, if you're diabetic, Jamaican fruits are very bad. Mango, melon, um, grapes, the fruits are very good, other ones are very expensive and hard to get. Strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. But you can get them to travel and stuff. But all the berries except cranberry, but the berries are low in sugar. Low in sugar and very nutritious. So in the supermarket, they sell something they call berry blend. A bag of strawberry, blueberry, raspberry, very nutritious, very good. Sweet. Jamaican cherry, number sweet. Jungle, sweet. Plantains.
Right plantains, so incredibly sweet. If you're diabetic and eat a piece of plantain, then know your sugar is going very high. Plantains are very nice, but very sweet. The green ones, sorry. Green fruits are not as sweet, right? So you can eat green chewing, you know. You can eat fruits that are not young but green or turned. It's not as sweet as this, right?
Yes, doctor. I was asking the question, what causes diabetes? Is something wrong with the blood? And another question, if the person is not diabetic, can the person eat a dozen
If you're not diabetic, technically you can eat a amount. If you're not diabetic, you don't eat every day. If you're not doing it every day, you cannot have to mangoes if you're not diabetic. But remember, we want to encourage moderation and temperance. Some mangoes are small. Some mangoes are very small, and they can just small mangoes. You got them every day. And the good thing also is that mangoes are seasonal, which is like always. Because you must know what season down the land, you know the next day. So your kilo says this because it's going to be available for the next 15 minutes. She asked me what causes diabetes. Once again, most persons is because of running in the family. It runs in the family. But also your lifestyle. Basically, it's your lifestyle in terms of activity. The greatest thing, I tell people all the time, the greatest thing you can do for yourself is to start exercising. Not really eat, I don't want to stress over eating parts so much. The greatest thing you can do for the benefit of your overall health, the greatest thing taken from you is exercise. And when I say exercise, you don't have to go to the gym and lift up the world and carry on. No. If you can find a church sister or two to be 6:30 in the morning until 7 o'clock and do a nice brisk walk around the community. Wonders. Wonders for your body.
Yes, doctor. I live in Green Island, and I walk in the morning from Green Island to Cove. And a young person, make me Lucy and said to me, say, every morning you pass upon the road, I actually to pass. But the all, if you're going down like the language, she said, is that how we talk?
No. And you're going to open that person.
And I said to her, because no one look like you. No one look like you.
I ride a bicycle. You know, that's one of my forms of exercise. I have three bicycles. Two bicycles for outside and one that you can ride in the house. And one day I was riding my bicycle and I saw a patient and he said to me that, you know, that's what I want to do that. I said, because I don't want to look at yours. And it was very surprising to find no blood pressure. And the main reason I don't enjoy exercising, it's not the funnest thing to do. No. And honestly, every day before I exercise, I get sad. Because I really don't want to do it. But I recognize the importance of exercise. And so, and you ask my parents who are with me tonight, I exercise 7 days a week. Friday morning and then rest of the Sabbath and then tonight, rest assured as the car show. I'm on my people. I practice what I preach for the most part, and I can tell you for the fact, exercising is the most wonderful thing you can do for your body. But don't overthink it. So to say about exercise 1 hour every day, that is not practical. Because you have a life, you have a business to run, you have the children, the husband, you cannot exercise 1 hour a day every day. Nobody has that time. It's not practical. But you can take 20 minutes. You can start with 20 minutes. You can do 30 minutes. And if you do only 30 minutes a day, 4 days a week, that is 2 hours for the week. And remember that the day has 24 hours. The week has 1 hours. And all I'm asking for is 2 hours for the whole week. The whole week, Sunday to Sunday. Just 2 hours. And I guarantee you are going to be the benefits. And so since I developed this active lifestyle, I feel so much better. I look better. Even I look younger, not looking younger. Because exercising has so many wonderful benefits.
get up every day and stick yourself just to test?
No.
How often?
It depends on how under control your sugar is. If you stick yourself every day in something that's wrong, you're under control. Just like taking pressure every day, there's no reason to do that. You're not in the hospital. Only in the hospital is that. You don't have to take your pressure every day. No. You can do one time for the week. One time for the week if you notice a problem. Right? Or every other week. But there's no benefit in taking your sugar or your pressure every single day. As a matter of fact, it makes you anxious. And that can make it worse. It makes you anxious. So you have people who walk around with a pressure machine and check the pressure every day. Just check the pressure, just check the pressure. When there are other problems going on, but they just focus on the blood pressure reading. There's no benefit in checking your pressure every day or checking the sugar every single day. You don't have to do that unless something is going wrong. Alright? And it's not true. And you can always check out these things for yourself on the internet. There's no benefit in checking your blood sugar every single day. If you know you are eating well and you are staying active and you're taking your pills, there's no reason whatsoever to check your sugar every day. And it's not free. The machine things is not free. They're not free. So you check your sugar every day. You don't have to do that.
I have to go outside, walk, to exercise. Can I stay at home in front of the TV in my bedroom and exercise?
I tell you something. You don't have to leave the house. You can exercise right in your bedroom. Right in your bedroom or around. When I'm using a skipping rope, which I encourage everybody to buy a skipping rope. Understand what I'm saying? Everybody should get a skipping rope. 10 minutes of skipping is like 1 hour of walking. You know that? 10 minutes of skipping is like 1 hour of walking. And you know, right in front of the TV, you're watching news or you're watching 3 or whatever program, and you're skipping 10 minutes and you're so tired at the end of those 10 minutes. You don't have to leave your house. You don't have to buy more exercise clothes, and you can buy exercise shoes, and you can buy all sorts of things. No. You want a nice clothes shoes. But you can exercise in your bedroom, your kitchen, your living room, outside the veranda. You don't have to leave your house. You don't have to go to the gym. I don't encourage anyone to go to the gym because they're not going to become models. Is anybody here a model? Who's a model? Is anybody here modeling? No, they don't have to go to the gym and they don't wait and exercise. It's not necessary. And it's hard to commit. It's hard to commit. When you do it off your own, in your own convenience at home, you're more committed. But to commit to a gym is difficult. And if you don't go to the gym, you feel bad, you do some other exercise from that. Because you don't want to normal exercise. Right? You don't start small. And so that's why I don't know if there's enough to do the exercise for nobody. That's ridiculous. No working adult has that much time in a day to exercise every single day. It's uncalled for. If you can commit to 20 minutes a day, 4 days a week, that is enough.
Yes, doctor.
I'm so sorry, I'm going to tell you. Some people say, well, that walk 1 hour. You exercise, you walk 1 hour. That's not exercise. You walk 1 hour because you're working, but it's not exercise. So it doesn't count as much.
Yes, doctor. There is a situation in most people have to know. You might go to arthritis. What is that?
Arthritis is an inflammation of your joints. Inflammation of the joints in the knee, the elbow, your hip, your shoulder. The joint becomes inflamed, swollen, and it causes pain. A lot of times it can be from overuse. So the persons who are very active up and down, a lot of hard work in their earlier days, when they get older, they start to feel the consequences of that hard work. We were low on every part. Housekeepers, janitors, persons who want to those things that work. Damage to the joints. Bending down constantly, constantly, things like that. Also, it can be something that you just develop over time. It too can be genetic and from the family. Alright, but it's an inflammation of your joint and it causes pain. There's no cure also. You can take medication to feel better. but there's no cure. And I always tell people when I get an injection for arthritis, don't expect magic. It will ease up, but it's not going to go away. But also, you know what helps arthritis? Exercise. Staying active can significantly aid your gain from arthritis. Alright, and then close questions, comments, and sincerely hoping that I am not standing here wasting my time. That one is very classy. And hoping that as I am talking, oh, thank you, that as I am talking, you are learning and you are actually doing share with members of the community. So if you haven't checked your purchases the year, start of the year, as a matter of fact, I think the church already should have a membership machine, right? Yeah. Yes. But I'm going to give you another one. Just to be safe. And I'm going to give you a sugar machine. So you can't tell me that oh, we did not know about the purchase because I know for a fact I need this church a pressure machine and a sugar machine. And the church can make it an initiative every summer of the church, set quality station, where people can make the pressure. Every church, every evening, after festivals, right outside on the table, and you can just check blood pressure. You need a doctor to treat it, but at least now the person is aware and they can go on the morning go to see the doctor. But I impress this church to start an initiative like that, start afternoons. Because that will be very summer. The last of the month, for example, I let the station on the patio where people can check their blood pressure. Church members and persons staff in higher line can even check their blood pressure, check their sugar. You may not be able to do anything about it, but at least now the person knows that something is going on and then one step up. It's very simple. And I don't prefer this setup for that. Okay? And when you organize, and you want to have to come up and afternoon and offer consultations to persons who are hypertensive or diabetic without sugar. Right? Those one contribution to the needs. Any other question? Any other question? Any other question? Asking about something called blue stirring when you're diabetic. Yes, you can have blue stirring when you're diabetic. It is designed of such that it is not very high in sugar. So it's nutritious and you can have it. Once again, in not excess, you can have a blue stirring or 1 a day. Yes.
Yes, doctor, if you are suffering from poor circulation, what recommendation would you
Asking if you're suffering from poor circulation, what advice would I give? Poor circulation can be very difficult to treat. Very, very difficult. And generally, there can be a cause. So, some person if you're diabetic, it can be a poor circulation. If you're hypertensive, it can be poor circulation. If you're not very active, poor circulation is more of a problem for persons who sit long. Because of your job, you are at the desk for hours, or a person who are standing in the same position for a very long time. So increasing physical activity can certainly help with poor circulation. Your diet also, your poor circulation will must keep your cholesterol. So you can't be having fried food, fatty foods, oily foods, greasy foods, because that makes poor circulation worse. You can be, you cannot be. You cannot put onto the other sense. Like fried chicken, fried chicken or something like that. But if it's not every day, it's a problem. Children eat rice and peas and fried chicken every day. Sometimes 2 times a day. Rice and peas for lunch, and then for dinner, and then one over to the night, one for the morning for breakfast. That's the problem. Those are creation can be difficult. If you can't start exercise, you will cut the risk of poor circulation significantly. And once again, when I say exercise, I'm not talking about the gym. Let's start just walking, light jogging, skipping. Basic things. Nobody knows I know they go weights and treadmill and all exercise. You can use what you have, use your foot. Okay? Of course, there's treatment and it should most likely work. Also, there's something called a comfort and stocking that you wear for persons who have poor circulation and it takes you very bad. Okay? No, don't think about it. When you're up, when you're up. Any other question about diabetes, about else that you want to know. I'm going to spend the last 2 minutes talking about something just for advice.
There's something about it. For instance, if I come to America, and then you say that the person is not really to be, but it's a little bit. So I want to give some medication, and say no. But you say, okay, get some more, do some work on the eye, and do some work on my body. And so I would say yes, because that's what I know that I can do. And so I can't demand that. What is exactly the result of the thing? But what happened to me? So I went to the lab. I went to the lab on Wednesday. Do it somewhere. Yeah. So I was happy, but I like to talk when in that day. So I said to the gentleman, I said, okay, I'm going to do it. Did you check the first before I do something like that? Then he said that, could you check it with us? And I went to the doctor, to the medical, and he said that the pressure is normal. But since from that time, he tell me what to do. So he said, when you do coconut, I said, no. And I do. He said, the person, so you check it. And then he take the blood, and then the blood, he said, oh, the blood is going to pass again. You can't do the blood. So when I did the blood, I drew the blood. And everything was okay. No, you mentioned something that whatever we do, in moderation, whatever we do, too much I want to do, but of course. Yeah, so we do, simple. I'm just happy for the tips this afternoon, the advice, and I hope and trust that it will all of us, even myself. Because since my wife, have the blood vegetable, I'm not sure that pressure to you. But I saw her, so I joined her in the festival sometimes. But I still eat my salt, still. And I don't love too much salt. It's little bit of salt. Moderation is still. Um, what I would advise, well, I want to give advice to the young people who are eating the fruits in the salt. What advice would I give them?
Right, stop that.
Yes.
Stop that. And then stop adding salt to things like that. It's not a good practice. Not a good practice. If you have to do it as fast, it's not as salt as possible. But it's not a good practice. And there's something that you do, like jackfruit, take the salt and June plum, green mango, something like a pepper pot with mango and salt and black pepper. It's not good. Raw salt in particular is not good. So try not to add raw salt. The salt crystallizes to the food. That's not very, very good idea. So my recommendation is to make that practice. Is that
Too much starch in the body, carbonated,
yes, too much starch. And so when you're diabetic, I definitely inject less rice, pasta, spaghetti, yam, banana, dumpling, dashi, less of all those things. And people diabetic also that because it's from the earth, it's good for you. Yam is good for you, banana, dashi, it's good for you because it's from the earth. It's the same situation like fruits. Same situation like fruits. Fruits are too sweet and these things are too starchy. So you know that a piece of yam can raise your blood sugar. You know that a piece of that, you know, a handful of rice, white rice, one handful of white rice can give you sugar to the sky high. One handful of white rice and peas works. So the recommendation for diabetic is vegetables and whatever protein you want. So you see, you can get vegetarian. So whatever protein you're having and your vegetables, less rice, less pasta, less spaghetti, and all rice, brown rice, black rice, red rice, all rice. All rice. So people say, oh, that's the only brown rice. It's not much better. It's not much better. Not much better. Because also the next problem with rice is we don't eat a spoonful. We don't eat a spoonful. The rice is the toughest thing on the plate. True or false? Yes, yes. The rice and the gravy. The toughest thing on the plate. And that is the problem in our culture. We eat the wrong things in excess. So if when you were eating a handful of rice, it would be great. That would be good. That handful of rice every single day.
depending on the size of their hand. But we were eating a mountain. I bought a box the other day and the whole box of rice. One is a chicken and another one rice. And it's the only for rice that caused the problem. Ah, the border is okay. You can have border. That's a very good question. Border is good for you. Put a fiber. Very good for cholesterol, good for circulation, but not good for you. You can have sweet potato in moderation. Okay, when you sweet potato, you can have it in moderation.
What causes tingling? What causes tingling in the feet?
She asked me what causes tingling in your feet. One of the complications of diabetes is something called neuropathy. What that means is it damages nerves. When you put start to think that nerve damage causes that, and it can be from a high cholesterol, it can be from diabetes, it can be from other things. So it's nothing in your feet is from nerve damage. And the most common cause of nerve damage is diabetes. That's why people with diabetes so blind. Diabetes in nerves to the eye. That is why you say that diabetes is one foot. Diabetes in nerves to the foot and the foot. Right? So that can be a problem.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah.
The free flow salt or the sea salt. Those are the dangerous salt. When I don't use those salt, I use the pink salt.
Right. That's what we use as well.
Right, I use the pink salt, and that is more.
It's the same thing.
Right. Thank
It's
you.
called the pink Himalayan salt. It's a little bit more expensive than the regular salt.
Yes.
But it's nice.
Yes.
In
Salt
moderation.
nectar is much better.
In moderation.
Yes.
You can't just put up.
Thank you.
Right. It's called the pink Himalayan salt. Final questions, final comments. I have noticed that's not true. The answer your problem. That's not true. That's not true. I want you to remember that most times when your pressure is high and it's going to cause a problem, you feel perfectly fine. Most times when your pressure is going to be a problem, most times when you're going to strokes, you feel fine. You don't feel no way whatever. You feel perfectly fine until it is too late. You never see this thing on the internet, this is about a lady, a nurse that fell down in the stomach before that. I know she was hypertensive. I know for a fact she was hypertensive. And she had a heart attack. I know she was hypertensive. That just happened so weird. Something was going on in her body. I know it. She was hypertensive. Diffuse. That just happened like that. And she was shopping. Shopping, walking around, shopping nights and coffee, and she was going on days in the supermarket. And that's the danger of untreated hypertension. And you know she was hypertensive. When I saw the video, I said to myself, it's a big pressure. She had pressure and she was fine. She would be shopping if she was feeling okay. That's a good example. She would be shopping if she was feeling okay. She was fine. Shopping, carrying out of her regular business, and then she
No question.
right, someone has a previous low pressure is not really a sickness unless something else is happening to you. Most people low pressure is not a sickness unless something is wrong, like you're dehydrated or you're bleeding from somewhere or you're sick otherwise. You have a cold, something is happening. But by itself, low pressure is not a sickness. It's not nowhere as dangerous as high blood pressure. Nowhere as dangerous.
I had a disease fellow, and that yes, I know 5 years.
It can be almost it can be something called vertigo, which has nothing to do with high blood pressure, but it would never idea to check your blood
It's really more than those ones
pressure.
for high blood pressure. But you are taking medications or you're not taking medications for a long period of time. But then since lately you're starting to have high disease levels frequently.
Check it out. You can check it out. They put your pressure. There's a simple pressure check and tell you that's the cause of your disease. Yes. And most persons, honestly, because they go away, so people have to do. And a lot of people, when I ask them, you know, what's been going on? This whole year stuff here, 10 years ago, how many people are on them? That's not how it works. The doctor gives a certain amount with the extent
expectation that you will come back for a refill or for a checkup. Please don't be that high patient who I said saw me 2 years ago and I warned the gentleman about his blood pressure. I gave him the tablets. I told him to come back and one time for me first checking. And I wrote down all of that. So when he came to me the other day, I didn't even respect and I felt so bad. Because he says that he can listen to me and find a good one because I can't be everybody's doctor. And that's fine. I can't be everybody's doctor, right? If you're not comfortable with one doctor, no problem, you can go somewhere else. And there's no hard feelings surrounding that. So maybe I didn't tell you what you wanted to do. You know what, tell you a second opinion. Because doctors can be wrong and can make mistakes. So if I think you're having this one's body about a bill, nothing is wrong. You get a second opinion from somebody else. I'm going to be no way with that. You understand? That's how it goes. So it's not a bad idea to get a second opinion from somebody else, especially as it relates to taking medication.
Is there any medication for dealing with it?
Yes, there is. Yes, there most definitely is. There is. There is. And if I have closing comments or questions, not related to the topic, but I need to first speak about something that's going on lately. Yes, in Orange Bay, right on the main road, beside the high school. Like speedy complex, right? So I'm going to spend the next 2 minutes talking about something that is not on the topic. We spoke about diabetes, hypertension, I hope it was educational for all of it. But I've noticed a very high increase in the number of persons coming to the office for a bad cold that eventually becomes pneumonia. Since December, from the start of December until now, I've noticed a lot of people have been coming in a very bad cold. And this cold for a lot of them, eventually, despite treatment, becomes pneumonia. And then pneumonia is a bad cold. Bad cold, that's what pneumonia is. So I want you all to be vigilant of the environment. It's not a bad idea to wear masks in closed spaces or in public transportation, just like during COVID. It's not a bad idea to walk with your sanitizer like during COVID and sanitize your hands, keep your surrounding skin. Because a lot of people are coming in with a flu that's so hard to treat, it becomes pneumonia, and unfortunately, especially for older people or persons with other sicknesses, you can die. People die from the flu. I want you to be aware, start from yourself, stay, sanitize, and wear a mask in crowded spaces. Also, if you're sick, stay. If I was very sick, go to the bedroom and stay in the bedroom. Or vice versa. I'm telling you. Because a lot of people have been going to the office like bad cold, bad cold, and so unfortunately, despite treatment, that it's reminding me a lot like COVID. So when we are up your surroundings, when you see your children in school, send them sanitizers, send them over your mask, and for yourselves. If you're in public spaces, public occupation, wear a mask. The moment you start to feel sick, go to the doctor. Don't drink any bush. Don't go to the sea and take part of your nut. Go to the doctor and get more than likely to give you antibiotics. Right? But don't wait until you get to control. Early diagnosis, early treatment is better for you. Okay? I've noticed many people, and that's why I want to warn you today. The moment you start getting sick, go straight to your doctor. Another thing I would like to advise you to do for those persons who are interested, you can get a flu shot. It's very common, around for years, and they can save you not necessarily from the flu, but from being as sick. So if you can go. I have it at my office and other doctors in use it, you can get a flu shot from the doctor before you get the flu. All right. It was such a pleasure being here this evening. I had a good time, and I hope and pray that you all learned something that you will not just keep to yourself, but this light that you are receiving this evening, you will now go into the community and you will share it with others. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of the evening and a wonderful week. Thank you very much.
I'm honored to present to you this token. However, as you ask, you may have to fold another answer and determine how many days you are going to have them. But by that time, they may be overripe. Well, the good things that happen families. So, this basket, I put a price on it. I could also put a price on if you should take all the members in church this evening as patients and see all of them that they will also put a price on that. It's a lot of money. But guess what? The education you provided this evening is priceless. Because one thing for sure that when you come to your office, you get the prescription and it fully benefits us. But the education, one, it's online, two, we're able to share it with other community members, family members, and friends. We just want you to know that we really appreciate you coming and also at short notice. We know that this is your church, it's your love, and we do hope that you continue to enjoy the fellowship that we have here, and you will come time and time again, including June. So again, thank you.
We'll now have our closing song, after which Brother Smith will pray to close. Teach me, Lord, teach me, Lord, how to wait. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Teach me, Lord, teach me, Lord, how to wait. You know, Job was sick so long till his flesh fell from his bones. He had sores to the crown of his head. And no matter how long it takes, Job said, I will surely wait. Teach me, Lord, teach me, Lord, how to wait. If your body in ache and pain, and your health you can regain, turn it over to the Lord. He will heal you. I know He will. I know how long it takes, God will heal you if you wait. Teach us, Lord, teach us, Lord, how to wait. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength.
and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Teach us, Lord. Teach us, Lord, how to wait. Amen. Son, may I pray? Let's pray. Father, we are truly grateful for this hour. Pray, God, in a special way that you teach us to wait. As we wait on you, help us to have patience. As we end yet another Saturday service. In a special way, I ask you, Father, even now to come divinely closer to each worshiper, even now. As we are about to embark upon a new week, we know not what lies ahead. But we ask you even now to clear the way for us. We have just gotten a health tip from our doctor. Pray God that we will listen, as we listen, that we will make necessary changes in our lives. That we will exercise and put you first in our lives. Knowing that through you we can do all things. And as we go from this place of worship, I pray you go with all of us. Give us journey mercies as we drive or those who walk as we walk home. And whatever we are about to do, even for this week, pray that you be ahead. Be ahead of the church. Be ahead of each family represented here this afternoon. And when time on earth shall be no more, pray God that you save us all in your kingdom. Help us to be faithful and true to your words. For we ask these in Jesus' name. Amen. The words of our mouth, the meditation of our hearts, acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, strength and mercy. Amen.
Oi, lu bosek dan kenal maknya. Kamu ini kali lu kita. Bosek ini kan tak panik. Kita ni. Tapi dia mau awak dua lekte. Lena nak dulu tu. Bumpak demo. Muna aku mewah dia main. Saya mau tak cuci orang dua kali bumpak demo.